Happy Wednesday. Happy Mind Your Wednesday. Challenges. Most of us do not like being challenged. At least I don't. When something challenges you, it pushes you out of your comfort zone most of the time. It's frustrating, it can be irritating, and we just don't want to be bothered with it a lot of the time. I'm pretty sure most of you have faced something that has been challenging in these, especially in these last few weeks with everything that's going on. It made me think about or go back to when I was in college. Now, my academic career in school was, pretty easy, I'd say. If I went to class, did my assignments, paid attention in class, stopped writing notes. I did well. I did well in school. I got to college, and one of my classes for my degree was business law. My professor, his name was Dr. Nartz, and he was kind of a short, stocky, salt and pepper, shaggy kind of hairstyle or haircut, and had real strong features, and he honestly just looked like a very mean person. And his teaching style was kind of aggressive or different than what I was used to in class. So going into his class, he was kind of demanding, and I would say I was intimidated, right? So I'm thinking I'm gonna go take the class, do as I normally do in most all of my classes, pay attention, do my homework, take the test, pass the class, move on. But it was something different about him, and it was like, I can't do this, I can't deal with this. He liked a lot of participation. He liked to engage, he called on pretty much everybody majority of the time, and I was really intimidated because it was outside of my norm or what I was comfortable with being in class. I'm just used to going in class, doing my assignments, listening, going home, taking the test, passing the class. But he was totally different, and it challenged something in me. But I don't know if some of you know, at a certain point in college, you have a certain time frame that you can drop the class and not be penalized for it. So I was so much so, I guess, in my feelings, if you will, about how he was teaching, and it was so uncomfortable to me that I dropped the class. I was like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to take this class. I'm not going to allow him to push me out of what I'm normally used to in a class. I'm not going to do it. So I dropped the class. But guess what? I had to take the class in order to get my degree. It was a required course. Guess what else? He was the only person that taught the class. So in order to proceed in the following semester, I had to take his class the very next semester. I'm like, okay. So I got the rest of these few weeks before the next semester to get myself together, because I'm going to have to go back and take his class. Like, I couldn't get around it. So, sign up for the class yet again. So I make an adjustment this time. I'm trying to prepare myself because I know how he is and I know how he teaches. I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit in the front of the class. If he answers questions, I'm going to be sure that I read my assignment and read the chapters. And, so I'll volunteer to answer the question, because I realized my intimidation came from him calling on me and me not knowing if I was going to have the correct answer, and like kind of being put on the spot. So I'm like, I'm going to cut all of that out. I'm going to start raising my hand and answering questions on my own. So I made the adjustment, and I changed my mindset going back into the class so I would have a different experience, because he wasn't going to change. It was up to me, and I had to take the class. I had to take the class and pass the class in order to get my degree. So go back in, and like I said, I sat in the front of the class, and something was different this time. Not knowing, I took his class on Tuesdays and Thursday. So on Wednesday, part of our assignment was to watch Law and Order. This was a business law class. was to watch Law and Order, and we would discuss the law part of it in class that following day on Thursday. Now I'm a TV buff, so I love TV. So I'm like, okay, this is cool. Like, this is a cool assignment. So literally I started watching. That's why I fell in love with Law and Order back then. But it allowed me to comfortably engage in class, raise my hand, and learn differently because he added this one little thing. Then I realized he's really a cool dude. Like, okay, I can do this. So what I'm asking you, when you're faced with something that's challenging to you, what do? How do you respond? My first response is, I'm not going to change. I'm not going to do anything. But when we don't, you're going to have to, at some point, face it to get to the next level, to get to another point, or to get to a desired goal of something. Now, challenges aren't always bad, at least not for me, because they've pushed me to be better, pushed me to do something that I wasn't comfortable doing, and it was a benefit to me. So during this time, if you're faced with some challenges and figuring out how you work differently from home, you kind of engage differently, which a lot of people are having to do now, face the challenge head on. And most of the time, you'll be better for it on the other side of it. And trust me, it's easier for you to make the adjustment on your own than to be forced to do it, which I kind of was because I had to take this class. So think about what challenges you faced or having to face, and keep moving. Be encouraged. Guys, I thank you for listening. And if nobody's told you today that they love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. See you guys next week.